My name is Greg Chun. You may know me from projects such as Demon Slayer or One Punch Man. I'm Ike in Super Smash Brothers and Fire Emblem.
And Gentry Chow.
And Gentry Chow versus the Underworld, which you all have to watch if you haven't.
It's great.
It's on Netflix and it's awesome.
My name is Eric Scott Kimerer. I know I wasn't advertised for this, but it was on my agent's list, so I do not defy them. You may know me as Ikuro Obanai in Demon Slayer, Gother in Seven Deadly Sins, Ryuji in Toradora, among many, 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 many others.
Okay, it's funny because my name is also Greg Chun. I'm AJ Beckles. Nice to meet you guys. I'm the voice of Okarun and and Takemichi, yay! And Tokyo Avengers and other things as well.
And Gentry Chow versus the Underworld.
The Underworld. I am the Underworld, and Gentry Chow versus the Underworld. So yeah, watch it, guys.
What your favorite or most memorable Okarun moment was? Because as a really big Dan fan, I have to know.
Yeah, my favorite moment was that scene in episode 1 because I feel like it's the core of everything. Okarun, I don't feel like he doesn't think he deserves friends or deserves, to have those sort of, positive figures around him. So I feel like he was really, really laying out his heart in that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, that scene really hit. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, go King.
What if Okarun and Takemichi swapped places? Like Takemichi got out of Okarun's powers, and then Takemichi has, or Okarun has Takemichi's powers. How do you think they would handle it or react?
I don't know. If Okarun had Takemichi's powers, I don't know if there's much. It would depend on when he gets it. I don't think there's much he would change because I feel like where we're at in the story when it starts, like in him meeting Momo, like he's actually pretty happy. So I don't know if he would want to relive the past because his past kind of sucked to him. If Takemichi had Okarun's powers, I don't know what he would use it for, but it would be hilarious. I don't know if he would be any braver because I feel like I don't know because I don't know what he would use it for. But they are very similar characters, so I'm sure it wouldn't be too different than Okarun, to be honest. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
What do you think Okarun's favorite sci-fi movie is?
Ooh, sci-fi movie. Alien.
Yeah.
There was a new Aliens movie that just came out.
Alien
Romulus.
Yeah.
Really good. Have you seen
I
it?
don't know if you would like that though, because he's kind of or was.
It's like very like gross and violent, isn't it? I never saw it.
A little bit.
Little bit?
There's a little bit.
Maybe E.T.
Ooh, E.T. would be
Yeah.
good. My thought would be like Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
What was it?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, it's a good
That
one.
one's a classic too. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Event Horizon.
What was, besides your own characters, what was your favorite character in Demon Slayer?
Rengoku. I love Rengoku so much.
Rengoku's amazing. I feel obligated to say Mitsuri because I play Obanai, but I see some have caught on to that ship. But honestly, I love, I wouldn't play this character, Griffin Burns' character Muichiro. I just love his performance of it because it just sounds like he's always recording in a beanbag chair. Just so chill. And I want that job. It sounds like he's got the reference projected on the ceiling. He's laying down. They mic'd him up in horizontal. He's just so relaxed.
And why do you like those characters?
I like Rengoku because he is so righteous and he's a very romantic character. When in romantic literature, the wicked are so excessively wicked and the righteous are so wonderfully righteous, and good always triumphs over evil. So to me, he represents that sort of idealistic storytelling that is not reality because everybody is flawed and complex, but every once in a while, to observe a character that is just all good is very inspiring to me, I guess. Plus, I have issues with, when his mom showed up at the end of that thing. I mean, I cried like crazy at the end of that. Ugly cried at the end of Mugen Train. Yeah.
And I really like Muichiro because, again, he is very calm and just as the Mist Hashira, I do like the concept of that in terms. I'm thinking like video game style. What would I love to play as a class almost? And I think like Mist style would be very, very what I would like to play. Just a very almost assassin hidden in the shrouds, very quick, and yeah, I really like his style mostly.
I'm gonna stick with Black Blood Brambles. I like a little more, overt violence.
Yeah, I'm already playing the DPS character, so that's already where I want to be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who would you meet in the Yakuza universe? Like, who would you like to meet?
What, you mean, who would I want to meet personally or Yagami meet?
You personally.
Oh, me personally. Well, I mean, I've pretty much met everybody. You're talking about the character or the actor?
Oh, the character.
Oh, the character.
Like anybody from like the greater Yakuza universe.
I mean, it'd have to be Kiryu, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the obvious answer. But apart from that, probably Seonghee, because she's Korean, and we could go get Korean barbecue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I would personally want to meet Ichiban.
Oh, Ichi would be amazing. Actually, Ichi would be a good old time.
Ichi's like the best.
He is. He is the best
All right.
person.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sad nobody said Majima.
I love that guy.
He's scary. Majima's scary.
He's
Majima's
cool.
awesome.
Why are you hating?
I'm not hating. I'm just saying I'm afraid of him.
What's your favorite line of Takemichi's from Tokyo Revengers? Or like quote from like the manga or like a line from the anime?
He has a line whenever people ask for like my favorite quote from the show. I always blank on it because it's not long, but I think it's like in the past and in the present I have to change or nothing else will. It's like my favorite line. Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
How does it feel like playing like Obanai, like as a very quiet character, and then with Gother and Ryota, they seem like very like boastful or like energetic?
Well, it's interesting because so you're talking about Kisei from
Yeah.
Kisei is very self-absorbed, very insular, very egotistical. The only people he really cares about are the people on the team, on his former team, really. Even his current team, he's very mean towards. It was interesting to kind of go into that arrogance. I kind of channeled a bit of the Paul brothers, or like an influencer almost, to pull into that. So yeah, he. What was fun with him is that he has this calmness about him sometimes where he's just like, oh yeah, you can't even stand up to the generation of miracles. But then he gets beat on by Aomine and all the others, and that's when you see him get really, goofy and just kind of drop the facade. So I love playing those two sides of him. With Gother, he is calm but naive. He's boisterous in just that he is just so unaware, and I love that about him. I love deadpan humor and dry humor, so that is exactly where I love living when I play him. And with Open Eye, the calmness is just through this intensity and just this dutiful nature of his. He needs everything to be by the book because he is so bound to his creed to kill all demons and just doesn't suffer fools. He's not one who's going to be just, admonishing you all day, every day, yelling at you. He's just like, I'm not even going to deal with you, which I find is really fun. It's all these different types of calm between all three of them.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you could switch bodies with any anime character, who would it be and why?
Switch bodies?
Yeah.
With any what kind of character?
Just any anime character, like from a favorite show or, yeah.
Who has the hottest body that I can think of?
The hottest bod.
Anybody in that Lost Paradise universe, those bodies are just stupid looking, and it would just be really fun to try and like go to the grocery store looking like that. So yeah. Ken, what's his name? What's the main character? Like I played Thouser, the villain, but then Kenjiro, is that his name? The protagonist of
Fist of the North Star?
Fist of the North Star. Yeah.
Kenjiro.
Kenjiro, yeah. His body is hilarious.
I think I'll be generic and I'll pick Goku. Not because of like how he looks, but I feel like I don't know. I just want to punch stuff and see what happens. I'll pick Goku's body. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm going to pick one of my own characters, and that's Ryuji, because I just need to be motivated to clean and cook more and stop being so ADHD.
True.
Oh no, for real? Baki. That's who I would trade bodies with.
Baki.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
My question is for Greg Chun. One of my favorite roles of yours recently was the voice of Tachibana in the dub of Godzilla Minus One.
Thank you.
What was your favorite line from Godzilla Minus One that you did?
It's kind of a spoiler.
I've seen the movie 6 times.
I'll plug my ears.
Well, I know, but okay.
Oh,
Anybody
yeah.
who doesn't want to be spoiled, plug your ears. It's only one word.
Plug.
Okay, plugged. Here we go. Live.
Yes.
He did it?
I did it.
Yay. Okay, that was fast.
That was such a beautiful part of that movie.
It really was. I loved it.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for answering my question.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
What was your favorite game from? It can be from either season 1 or season 2, but from all of Squid Games. Anyone else can answer as well if they've seen Squid Games.
Like one I would like to play, or I just liked the scene the most.
Either one works.
Yeah, obviously I wouldn't want to play any of them.
Yeah. Any of them.
But I quite like the six-legged race and all of the little games in between, because they were all really fun and unique. I don't know how you like flip the dice and have them land on the back of your hand. Like there's no way I could do that. So it was fun to see, and I love tops. That's just like a random thing for me. I love things that spin. So yeah, that scene was really fun.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen Squid Game yet. I need to.
You can say yours, AJ, if you want to say if you had a favorite too.
I think red light, green light is like
Yeah.
a very simple one, and I think that's what made that first game like so like stressful to watch and everything. Because it's like this is the most childlike thing ever, but it, had a lot of stakes. So I think that was probably my favorite to watch at least.
If you did have to play one, I think red light, green light is the one to play.
That's the one.
Because you just rely on yourself. If you get shot, it's your own fault.
Right.
But like the mingle game where you have to like group up with people, like forget that.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine. I would just
The
shit
tug of
myself.
war one, I think, would be. I'm a pretty big dude, so tug of war wouldn't be super hard ish.
Yeah, I'm not a big guy. I wouldn't be up for that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
What are the most like memorable lines or like roles you've played?
Ooh, most memorable. Danzadon, like playing Okarun has been like I think my funnest experience playing a character so far in my professional career, because he's so like multifaceted and complicated, and he's just fun. So I liked. Well, have you guys seen it? I don't want to spoil. There's a particular part where where like him and Momo are like speaking to each other, and he's in her room and she's kind of calling him out on his stuff, and he gets kind of quiet and she goes, "Come on, say something," and he's a kid and I don't think he knows how to express himself super well, so he kind of gets all quiet and he's like, "Bitch." He starts beating him up. So that's probably my most memorable because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So one of mine is from Kuroko's Basketball, where I played Kisei. And a little backstory to this, my friends and I play a lot of Destiny 2 together over Discord, and whenever my friend Roy grabs an orb and dunks it in, he yells in the voice chat, "Dunkachino!" which my friend Shannon hates. Like, if he could reach through Discord, he'd slap my friend Roy. We get to the movie of Kuroko's Basketball, and the original line was, "Oh, come on, how come nobody's giving me props on that sweet dunk?" I recorded it as is written, and then I asked the director, "Can I try one wild?" And he's like, "Sure." "Oh, come on, how come nobody's giving me props on that Dunkachino?" And I thought it was going to end up on the blooper cutting room floor, but I sat on it. I didn't tell my friend about it, and sure enough, when the movie dropped a couple months later, somebody clipped it on Twitter and sent it to me. I sent it to my friend, and he called me big mad. Just like, you mother, this is an inside joke between us, and you put it in the, you son of a, just really.
That's hilarious.
So that's probably one of my favorite lines ever, just for that whole reason, is just, it was an inside joke that now the whole world gets to hear.
That's awesome. Good job. We all aspire to do that.
Yeah.
I like pretty much whenever Muzan is sort of cursing out any of his subordinates. The scene with Akaza was a big favorite of mine for the longest time when he's little boy Muzan, just because it's so scary that he's there and then his eyes just go poof, and you see that it's Muzan. And Akaza says that, oh, well, I killed a Hashira, everything's cool, you can rest easy knowing that. And I say something along the lines of, you come here boasting of your infantile triumph over a Hashira, all the while 3 other demon slayers escape the confrontation. So whenever I get to get mad at somebody is always very fun, because Muzan's usually chill. I like losing my cool a little bit.
That's awesome.
He's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a line from your favorite anime that you wish you could have delivered?
That I wish I could have delivered, but someone else did?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a good one. It's a really good one.
Maybe Turbo Granny's line when she first sees Okarun in the tunnel. That was probably pretty fun to say. I don't know. It's probably children, so I should say it. But yeah, that one.
I really don't know. I'm all about like challenging myself with being like breath sustaining, being loud. So I guess just for the sake of the challenge, I would want to do the 7-page Muda from Golden Wind. Just to kind of see if, exercise, see if I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, One Punch Man, I'm in as Garo, but I really love the way Max does his huhs. So in anime, we always have like, huh, or like, or the standard anime efforts, and his in One Punch Man is just, huh. And I got to do a little bit of that in Way of the House Husband. I played a black cat that was cursing out another cat for pooping in the lawn. And I got to do one, huh. So we need more of those in anime, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good
Now
question.
you're working with Alex Von David, is it? Yeah. Does he make you do the bad anime reacts?
No. Wait, what do you mean?
Back when we were working on Toradora, he was just like, tell me whenever we had to do those, he was just like, just do a bad anime react. And we had this whole reel of overdoing it.
That's so funny. No,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
Do it to him. Do it to
I
him.
will. I'll bring it up.
Yeah, no, just drop one
do
on.
it.
Just drop one on him.
See if he saves it for later.
Yeah.
What anime character have you always wanted to play?
Ooh, I like to do, whenever I'm asked a question like this, I like to go in the past so I'm not stealing from my friends. But if I had to like go back in the day and pick one character, Sasuke. Sasuke's so cool. I always loved like the edgy characters growing up, so I would steal that from Yuri Lowenthal. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say generally any character in Dragon Ball Z. That's still my white whale. Like out of all the shows I grew up on, I've been blessed to be a part of one or the other iteration of them. So Dragon Ball Z is kind of the last one. But if we're going back in time, I don't know if anybody really even knows this. I'm aging myself. Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle. Yeah, it's a show by Clamp, and I would have loved to have voiced Shaoran in that one because that was one of my favorites growing up. And I love stories of jumping between universes, Doctor Who style adventures, and that one really scratched that itch for me.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't much of a consumer of anime until I got into Demon Slayer, and then I started I wanted to check my own work, and then I started really gelling, I think, with the rest of the anime actors in the community, because I got a pretty late start in my voice acting career. So, but mine isn't so much a project as it is a person. Matt Mercer was a huge, huge inspiration to me. And so anytime I would see him do a role, I would feel like, that's the kind of impact that I want to have. So yeah, anything Matt plays.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you ever met Matt? before?
Oh yeah, Matt and I, we've worked together. We've done tons of projects together. We had sushi together, okay?
Heck yeah.
But that was before he's untouchable. Now you can't. Now you can't get
Now
it.
you can't do that.
I used to karaoke with him like weekly, years and years and years ago, and bygone era. The man is behind an
But he's
iron
still like
wall
he
of
hasn't
money.
changed at all. He simply has no
he's
time.
still the nicest
But
dude
he's
in the
still the
world.
same guy as he
Yeah.
always has been. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Is there any character from either something that hasn't been localized and you would want to participate in, or a minor character from something you've already done that like no one else really remembers but resonates with you, or you found super interesting or notable in a way?
It's a good question. So if there's like a minor character that I would like want to be,
No, that you've already done in the
that
past.
I've already done in the past that I resonate with that other people might not know about.
Yeah, or something that hasn't been localized. Like my example would be I voice Hod in Lobotomy Corporation videos, for example, and that hasn't been localized into English either. So it's all like fan stuff. Is there any characters like that, or like obscure characters in general that you resonate with on a personal level?
While you're thinking, I've been dying to answer this question because I have the dream role of two dream roles. I watch a lot of K-dramas, right? My wife and I watch K-dramas constantly. So there's one called Goblin, which is our absolute favorite. If anybody's seen Goblin, amazing, right? It's got Kong Yu in it, the recruiter from Squid Game. Anyway, there is a character in that, he's the Grim Reaper. And he's very moody and broody and romantically awkward, and that is like a dream role for me to voice. If that ever got dubbed and I didn't get to play that, I'd probably like set my place on fire. And the other one is Yumi's Cells, is another K-drama that actually stars the same woman from Goblin, Kim Go-eun, and half of it's animated. So there's live action, the Korean scenes with the Korean actors, and the rest of it, half of the show is animated. And there's Detective Cell that I would love to play.
Yeah,
because I play a lot of detectives.
I understand having Korean media that hasn't been localized because Library of Ruin and Lobotomy Corporation are both Korean. So, How about you two?
I would actually have to say, because I did the audiobooks for Kizumonogatari as Koyomi Araragi, and we did that as kind of a radio style thing where it wasn't just me reading the entire audiobook. We got to have multiple actors.
Like a drama CD?
Yeah, it was like a drama CD, and you can find them on Audible, but the Monogatari series are notorious for being what they say undubbable, because it really is, even the writing in the book, the original light novels, was heavily reliant on Japanese puns and Japanese wordplay, which does not translate one-to-one over easy.
As someone who's Japanese, I get it.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and there's a lot of flashing words on the screen that they would have to reanimate or something because they're on kanji and katakana. So it's known for being undubbable, but I still would love a crack at it at some point. And as far as a minor character that nobody knows about that I wish people would know more about is Yutagamon from Occultic 9, and that was a show done by Aniplex, and I don't think anybody has brought anything up to me at any of my conventions in the past 10 years of that.
Done by the same artist as Danganronpa?
I think so, yeah, and he really resonated with me because he's this, reclusive skeptic who writes a blog about the supernatural while not believing in it himself, and then gets sucked into this supernatural whirlwind around him, and I loved it. I thought that was a fun one, and I hope this inspires at least one person here to go check out Occultic 9 if you can find it anywhere.
I'm in it too, Occultic 9. Go check it out.
Oh yeah, where were you?
Oh, did you get a chance to answer that question?
Yeah, it was just, I did an audio drama like a long time ago. One of my first things, and I really, really like audio dramas because it was like the closest I could get to like the really cinematic form of acting. A lot of the stuff that I was doing when I was doing more indie work was like, comedy, a bridge series, stuff like that. But I really enjoyed doing audio dramas, and there's a character I played named Balisk. He was like an alien, but he was like a really smart scientist, and he was kind of skeezy, and you never really knew what he was thinking. And I think for the longest time, even including my professional work, it was like some of the best stuff I'd ever done, some of the most like connected I felt to a script. So I wish more people would listen to it. It's from an audio drama called Black Star Chronicles, made by a good friend of mine. So yeah, I hope you guys will be willing to listen to it, and if not, that's okay too. But yeah, Balisk.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
Thank you.
What's the most obscure character that someone's brought up when meeting you?
Wait, most obscure character that what?
Someone's brought up to at the booth, like,
That's a good
sign.
one.
It was literally like today. I'm trying to remember which character. It's so obscure. I don't even know who they are.
There's actually a fan who twice in a row here at SacAnime has made it a mission to bring me some of the most obscure things. And today they brought a video game that I was in for Spike Chunsoft called Conception Plus. And it is, I don't think I even need to describe it or even can describe it with a title like that. But it is very JRPG.
Plus.
Conception Plus.
What a title.
And I play the guy in the harem in that one. So they brought that game up. I didn't even know it still existed. I thought like everybody burned their copies or something. But, yeah, sure enough, that was a pretty deep cut for me.
Wait, wasn't that?
Oh,
that guy named Itsuki?
What was it?
Wasn't that guy named Itsuki?
Yes, Itsuki.
I love
Yes.
that. That's
Yeah.
funny. I voiced a character named Jack. Jack, and it was actually you, I think, that brought it up to me. Yeah, Jack in a show called Restaurant in Another World. It was my very, I think, first like Crunchyroll, official Crunchyroll like dub that I ever did. Caitlin Glass brought me on. And it was like real quick. It was like one episode or whatever, and I forgot about it until he brought it up to me, and I was like, "Oh yeah!" So yeah, I think that's it for me.
I think there's a game called Radiant Historia that I'd never heard anything about for years, and for some reason, in the last 2 cons that I've done, everybody brings up this character named Rosh that I played in it, and then I think back. I mean, he looks ridiculous. His armor is like. He maybe as well be his house, but I remember he was very like serious and brooding, and I was like, oh, that was pretty cool to play. Yeah. So Rosh, yeah.
Heck yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Love you guys.
Thank you.
To kind of bank off that question, do you guys ever get a show that like sleeps for a while and then becomes popular later randomly for you?
Oh, I don't think that's ever happened with me.
Because like that's been happening with me with Bungo Stray Dogs. I was one character for one episode years and years and years ago in season 2 or something, and now like
it's come back.
Yeah, the Bungo fans are coming out now.
Yeah.
I find that as well.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a line that was so bad and so out of character for the one you were playing that you just wanted to throw the script at the writer?
Man, yeah. I won't say what specifically for, but sometimes that can be difficult with anime because usually when scripts are being adapted, people they'll try to like make it fit the flap, but they might speak a little bit faster than you, or something like that. So sometimes things don't work, and when that happens really, really often, it can be kind of frustrating. But at the end of the day, I don't really get too angry at the writers or anything because it's a hard job, and it's like it's a team effort. So I tend not to get upset, but sometimes it can be frustrating where it's like, nothing's working, we can't get this to fit. But yeah.
Yeah. I hesitate to say how much I can say on this subject, because there was a project I worked on, and I won't say what it is or who was producing it, but there was a line my character said to his consistent scene partner, something along the lines of, "I hope you," and then it goes way off the rails, and I didn't even say it. I didn't even record it. I just paused the session and looked at the engineer and director, and they looked at me with the same look, just like, hold on, just turned around. We're like, guys, no.
Yeah.
No. And they thankfully changed it. Yeah. So it wasn't like throwing it out the window. It was just like,
Yeah. Something that caught you off guard.
yeah.
My thing, and to echo what AJ was saying, that the adapters are not being paid enough to sit there, and they've got to get the job done quickly, And so a lot of times, it's just going to be like, I'm sure they're thinking, well, they'll just fix it in session, which is what happens a lot of times. The thing that I have that gets me that I really push back against is the way cursing in Korean is translated.
Oh.
So when you say, I don't know if there are any Koreans in here, but something like 개새끼야, it's like, it's a vulgar insult to somebody, but it always gets translated as either jerk, punk, or bastard. None of which anybody really says anymore in English, in conversational English.
Yeah.
So when I get, when the lines are coming by and I'm just like, you filthy jerk, I'm like, I'm not gonna say that. Let's change it to something else. Like, that gets tiresome after a while. But I understand how it happens because it's just, that's the direct translation. They're like, okay, moving on.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you guys.
You're
welcome. Thank you.
I also played Metaphor ReFantazio recently. Your narration in the game is beautiful.
Thank you.
And you read a lot of dialogue that's very descriptive and with a lot of big words. So I was just wondering, how do you prepare to read all of that while you're recording? Because I feel like, for me personally, like having to go through all that dialogue, I would mess up. And then if you two have any input, I'd love to hear your thoughts too.
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about voiceover is that if you blow a take, you just do it again until you get it. We all, I think I speak for everyone, we all get hung up on certain lines or a combination of words that suddenly we just can't say for some stupid reason.
At least one every session.
Every session, there's like some combination of words that you just keep flubbing in the same way. What I do to fix it is, and there are variations on this. I simply like enunciate the words, like really over exaggerate. So if if it's, she sells seashells, she sells seashells, she sells seashells. Say it like that 5 times. Some people actually put their fingers or a pen or something in their mouth. So you say she sells 5 times, and then you go back in for the next take, and miraculously it just rattles out. So that's kind of a tip. Do you all do the same thing?
I just kind of get frustrated usually. Yeah, we all mess up all the time. I did that with the pencil. That's how I practiced is enunciating because I mumbled a lot. When I was trying to figure out how to be a voice actor and everything, I was doing a lot of that. When I mess up in the booth, I usually just try to say it slower. Sometimes my brain goes a little bit faster than I can speak, so I try to just slow down and say it slowly. But if it's words like medical stuff or words you've never seen before, you just gotta pray usually.
Yeah. Had to do a couple of retakes at Cells at Work for that reason. But yeah, no, for me, I am just very ADHD, so I really don't want to break the pattern or break the flow that I'm in. So I'm often just if I mess up a take, I'm just no, go again. Redo it. I got it. But if it starts happening and becomes a pattern, it gets stuck in my head. Yeah, I'll step out, step away from it and just kind of goose fraba. Yeah. You want to see anger management? No, I'm old.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who is a voice actor, or maybe voice actors that you've maybe we were working in the industry or whatever that you have looked up to as an inspiration?
When I was I don't have any acting background. I have learned a big portion of how to act from just copying what I hear and YouTube videos. But a lot of what I was listening to back in the day, just because of the era when I was really getting into story games, was the early 10s, 2010, so I was playing a lot of BioShock. I was playing, Batman Origins and The Last of Us. So Troy is I was listening to him a lot. And honestly, I don't think without those performances, not just his, but Ashley Johnson as well, but listening to a lot of him, I don't think I would have been able to kind of grasp voiceover that much when I was first starting out. So I looked up to Troy a lot and still do. Yeah.
I was looking up to Steve Bloom a lot and Crispin Freeman, just these powerhouse, and it's mostly because it was almost I want what I can't have, which is deeper voices. But I really did look up to them because they also put in killer performances and just have this high acting IQ. So now that I get to be a part of a group with them, along with Johnny Umbosh, who was one of the first people I met in the industry, and just also the first person I looked up to because I was a big Power Rangers fan, and Trigun was one of my first shows I watched. Just being this Hashira group that we're all like in this almost fellowship, like fighting alongside each other is really cool to me. Yeah.
For me, I mentioned Matt before, Matt Mercer, of course, but Fred Tatasciore was another guy that I really looked up to. Gosh, there was one more that just slipped my mind. Oh God, I'm getting old, man. But Fred was, he's just incredible with the creatures and all that kind of stuff. Oh, John DiMaggio.
Oh.
And strangely, not even from Futurama, it was from Gears of War. He played Marcus Phoenix.
Yep.
And I was a huge Gears of War head back when before I was married and stuff like that. I played Gears of War multiplayer like at least 3 hours every day, 7 days a week for probably about 3 years.
Oh, so you were the guy ganking me all the time.
Pretty much, yeah. I wasn't very good. But his performance as Marcus Phoenix was so powerful to me. I really, that was another big inspiration for me.
Thank you very much. And y'all are all inspirations as well, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
What would you have advice for like someone like me to get into voice acting who's a little bit scared that the industry won't be as welcoming?
Oh.
That's kind of deep. I don't know how to like
No.
word that nicely.
No, that's a fair question to ask.
Yeah.
You did it very well.
Thank you. I tried.
It's tough. I think sometimes those fears can be very paralyzing. And what I tell people that come to my table and ask a similar question, not to get too existential, but like you only get one life, right? And if voice acting or anything really is what you want to do, and it's something you really want to do, then don't let anybody else try to stop you from doing it. I can't promise you that you're going to be able to come up here one day and or be signing autographs, but you can voice act and you can do it right now. Just plug something into your computer and start reading. And something I constantly told myself is like, I'm just going to be so good they can't ignore me. So if that's really, really, really what you want to do, then just do it and have fun. And if you decide you want to do it professionally, then have that same mindset. It might be a little bit harder for you, but you can't think about it. Because you can't change the way the world thinks. So you just have to be the best you can be and be grateful for the things you get.
Thank you. That's literally what I need to hear. Thank you
I'm
so
glad.
much.
Of course.
Would you pick Jiji or Aira?
Ooh, would I pick Jiji or Aira?
Yeah.
Aira's hilarious. But so is Jiji. But Aira isn't trying to be. Aira. No, Aira. I'd pick Aira. Yeah. I think Aira's just interesting to have around. But who would I want to be friends with? Probably Jiji. Yeah.
I'll remember that you picked Aira.
I'm sorry.
Hi, I was wondering which characters from you guys are your favorites that you have voiced for?
Favorite?
Yeah.
For me, it's Okarun. He's super fun, and I feel like I'm playing two characters because I get